welcome to our special edition. What is that group, Voice 370?
So Voice 370, we represent the next of kin of all of the passengers and crew on board MH370.
How are you?
Sorry?
What is the last moment that you had with your parent that died in the Malaysian airline? Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, on the 8th of March when it happened, I was in England, still studying. So I received a phone call from my father and had to come back. So the last time I saw my mother was maybe 6 months before the incident, because she sent me to the airport to go to England to study.
Did you feel that the time that you left your mother, it was the last moment?
No, of course not. No, I had no idea. I was looking forward to coming home.
How are you taking this news? Whenever you're far away, you're not in Malaysia, you're not in the country, you're abroad, and then suddenly you have this news up.
No, it was a very unique situation because we didn't know what happened. So I came home the same day to find out, to see what was happening, but we didn't know what was happening. So for 2 or 3 weeks I was at home. We didn't know what happened. Everybody was still wondering where the plane was, what happened. I went back to England to study. Now more than 1,000 days later, I think our position is pretty much the same. We still don't know what happened.
This is the question of your life, Grace Nathan, the question of your life. What happened on that flight?
Yeah, well, of course I want to know what happened to my mother, what happened to the plane, what happened to all the other passengers, where are they now, what happened to the plane.
You said in the press conference that you are in contact with the Australian, Malaysian authorities. What are the latest news? We want to have the latest news. What are the latest news on that?
They had segmented 120,000 square kilometers to search for the plane in the South Indian Ocean. This is where the plane last made communication, so they said that that's where the plane would have crashed. And they are completing that 120,000 square kilometers now. They should finish maybe within a month. And they are suspending the search until there is credible new evidence or credible new information for them to narrow down a new search area.
On the point of view, what is it? Credible new evidence?
They did not give a definition for credible new evidence. They just said that it would be something that will help them narrow down the search area.
For you, what will be that credible?
One of the reasons why we are here raising awareness to be on the lookout for debris is because we are hoping that through the debris there will emerge credible new evidence.
2 years after 1,000 days, you think we are still there are some debris?
Yes,
in the Indian Ocean?
Because it's traveled more than 4,000 miles from the South Indian Ocean to the West Indian Ocean and is now reaching the East African countries. The debris has taken over 2 years to make this journey. There are still many pieces coming, still on the way.
You were in Madagascar, we are talking about the debris. You were in Madagascar, and suddenly when your friend, this other friend that you have in the Voice 370, that piece that you have presented to us, what was your feeling? When he called you, maybe you were not with him?
We were not together when he found the piece. I was in the north of Madagascar and he was somewhere to the east. But it was a very difficult situation for us because I think for us to be traveling so far away to come here to look for pieces of the plane, it's a very painful experience because my mother has never been anywhere near Africa. The plane is said to have crashed near Australia, and here we are thousands of miles away in Africa, walking along a beach, trying to find pieces, very small pieces of what might be left of the plane. It's just difficult to comprehend that this is the state that we are in now, that we have come this far to do this.
You thought that from Malaysia, when you will be coming Mauritius?
No, I would have never thought that.
To Madagascar to quest for your mother? No. Is it quest for your mother?
Yeah.
Can we tell that you're looking desperately for your mother?
I don't know what you can say looking desperately for my mother. I don't know if I'll find my mother here, but we are trying to look for what happened to my mother and 238 other people on the plane.
One of the big news on that flight, MH370, was that flatron that was found in Reunion Island. When the news broke out, what was it?
I think it was something like a breaking point for me when we heard the news, because up until then we had no reason to believe that the plane had crashed. I think a lot of us were somehow hoping that they were all alive somewhere, and then when the first piece arrived and they confirmed that it was from the plane, a lot of us felt very shattered because it was proof that the plane...
You had to accept it? It was a time to accept the fate?
I still haven't accepted it.
Why? What happened?
Because I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened.
I'm coming back. This is your question.
Yeah. I mean, my logical brain understands that the plane has crashed and they probably are not coming home, but on the emotional side, I have not been able to accept.
Why? Why the emotion?
Probably because we don't know what happened. We still haven't had any closure. We still have many questions and no answers.
What are these questions? You can put to me the question that you have put to the Malaysian airlines, to the authorities, Australian authorities. What are these questions that you are putting to them?
I think our questions are the same as the rest of the world. Where is this plane? What happened to the plane? How did it get there?
No answers for here? You don't have any theory in your head what might happen?
It's difficult for us to there's many theories, and a lot of them are conspiracy theories not backed up by any evidence. It's very difficult for us to accept the theories because there's no proof, and if I wanted to listen to every theory or everything that everyone says, I think I would lose my mind because there's so much out there, and I'd rather not know. I'd rather just listen to the official story because the official version is the only one that has some evidence. That it's easier for me to cope that way.
During the researches, we had the story of some bee that came from the bottom of the sea. Were you happy when you see there might be the responders?
No, because this has happened a lot. Like a lot of false alarms, a lot of we saw some debris, we saw this, we saw that, we heard this, we heard that. It happened many times in the beginning for maybe the first 3 or 4 months, and it came to a point that we wouldn't believe anything until it was proven.
In your press conference, you said that the Australian authorities, the ship that is doing the research, furthermore, you think that the debris are taking the South Equatorial Current, sea current. That's why it's coming to Madagascar, Réunion Island, Rodrigues.
So where they are searching now, based on that area, debris should have also arrived in Australia, not just Africa. But now nothing has arrived in Australia and everything is in East Africa, which leads us to believe that the plane is slightly north of where they are looking now.
You have exchanged your thought with the authorities, or they are still in that part that they are looking for?
They are still in that same part. They have not refined a new search area to move further north.
So, have you been searching for some clues in Mauritius?
Yes, yesterday we went to some of the islands of the east.
And?
We didn't find anything, but we tried.
What were you looking for? What sort of pieces that you had from Madagascar?
Yeah, just any plane debris.
What does it look like, a plane debris? I've never seen a plane debris. I've seen a plane, but not into place. It's like the honey type. It's small, but there might be some bottles, some pieces, and we can't.
We're focusing more on the plane debris because it's easier to identify if it's from a plane. But with other personal effects or objects, it's very difficult to say where it's come from unless there's some identification.
I remember when you were doing your press conference, there was a strategy map where you have some small buttons that say, what were they?
There's the research by an oceanographer in Australia, Professor Chari. So his research has been quite accurate so far. He predicted the time and place of the arrival of the flaperon that was found in Reunion 1 year before it arrived. And his research has also been quite accurate so far because in all of the places that we saw the potential debris, we have people have found debris in those places.
So he's using that
analysis, to sort of map potential, like where debris should potentially arrive. So the white spots on the map is the potential debris.
So in your pamphlet, you said whatever if ever I come across, I don't know, in Belmont, maybe you have been to Belmont, I see something awkward. I see a piece, but mine from that MH370 flight. What must I do, Maurice Nathan?
So you should take a photograph if you can of it in its original state. Note down the date and the time and location of your finding, so that they can record it carefully, and then you should pick it up and handle it with care because the piece is very fragile. It's been in the ocean for more than 2 years, and hand it over to an authority, to the nearest police station or airport, The authorities here are aware there is a procedure already in place because debris has been found in Mauritius before. So they've already collected it. It has been turned over to the Malaysian authorities for investigation. Because they already have done this before, there is already a procedure in place.
What message? You say that we should not get rid of any shells, any trace of marine life.
Yes.
What is this going to tell us? The point of departure, or the way maybe there might be some living creatures that are particular to a place in the Indian Ocean.
That's exactly what it is. The marine life can give some clues to the place of origin because some of the marine life will grow in certain temperatures of water, and depending on how big they are, they know how long it's been in a certain place, that sort of thing.
The last part in your pamphlet, you said something that I was touched that this never happens again. Why are you telling that? Airplane crashes, since airplane has been invented by man, there are crashes. What do you want? You don't want this to repeat?
Yeah, because we still don't know what happened to this plane. And if we don't know what happened, how do you prevent it from happening again? Just on Boeings alone, 8 million people fly on Boeings every day. It's a big number. I think it should be of concern.
You're not afraid whenever you take a plane?
I can't relax on a plane. I'm always wondering what's going on.
You stay on alert from departure to your point of...
most of the time, yes.
Point of arrival, and then when you're off the airport, you're at ease, I can say, or you're still stressed under pressure?
Difficult to say. Like most of the time, I just can't relax during the flight, and I'm okay after I've arrived.
How are your friends in the same state like you in verse 70? They are still looking for the answers.
I think everyone is at a different state of their journey, but most people are in the same position as me. We're all still waiting, still hoping.
When are you going to put an end? You see, there's nearly no hope in one month time. Let's say mid-January 2017, they are going to stop the research. When are you're going to begin to breathe, or never?
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for that. At this point in time, I'm not ready to stop.
That will be the quest of your life?
I don't know. I'll try my best to keep going until they find it.
Do you think you will be able to... I know these are very hard questions, and they're meant to be given to you. Are you going to turn a page one day? Or the book will be still open at the same page?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Would you like to have children, and maybe you're a mother or you're not a mother, you want to have to build a family, to have another attention like looking for your lost family?
My life has been quite on hold for the last 2.5 years, so I don't know. I have no plans to...
The only plan is to have the answers with your friends of 370?
That's one of the main missions in my life now, to work for this cause.
Last question, Grace Nathan. Would you like a film to be done? Someone making a film on the incidents, but as far as we know, as we did for Titanic was a very
I don't understand your question.
Would you like to a director to do a film on that flight, but as far as we know, like we did for James Cameron, did for Titanic?
I don't know. I have not thought about any of that.
You would like participating, maybe to give to the actress the deepness of your feeling, the sorrow that you have. I see it in your eyes right now.
No, I have not considered this before.
Let's see someone, one big producer, I don't know, comes and say, well, contractors, Voice 370 say we were going to do a film, but this is never put in the recycle bin of history, in the bin of history, like a normal aircraft.
There have been many people who approach us with documentaries, and we have always assisted them when they try to produce a documentary about the plane or about our journey. And I think it's more or less the same. I might assist depending on the goals of the director of the movie.
Mauritius is the last country that you're visiting, that area, or you're going to Tanzania, maybe on Somalia?
Not on this trip. Maybe in the future, but we haven't planned it yet.
What have you planned?
This is the first time we've done this, so we have to go back and think about it. Also, we are all 100% self-funded personally funded, so it's difficult for us.
Why the authorities are not helping you, Graceland?
We didn't ask them we have asked them for the last 6 months to try to mobilize a search here, but then we didn't receive any response, so we decided to do it ourselves.
What can I wish you, Graceland, for 2017? Some happy days? More happy days?
No, for the search to go on.
For 2017, until you have an answer?
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Graceland. Hope that you have better news in 2017.
Thank you.